Hi, my name is Tony Gray, and this is my final project, which is a racing game. So, just to get it started here, first you have the start menu for the game. This is called Speed Racer. They have a GUI right here to adjust the volume of the start menu audio, like so. And then I have a button right here for multiplayer and single player. So when multiplayer is enabled, that means the net meshing is enabled. So you need another instance open for player 2. And then if you click this button, it changes it to single player where the net meshing is disabled, so you only need one instance open to play the game. So I did do this project with a partner, so I'm going to demonstrate the multiplayer aspect of the game. So we're going to start with pressing spacebar, and then we're going to get a loading screen right here, and the loading screen just takes about a few seconds. And then once the loading screen goes away, there will be a control panel where you can select the track that you would like to play on. And yeah, and then I also already have the other instance open, so everything I'm doing on this instance will apply to the other instance, well, most of the things. And then, so you click this drop down right here and then select track 1. So there's a loading screen for this as well because it needs time for the terrain to be fully loaded in. So once the terrain is fully loaded in, then the loading screen will go away. So let's give it about a few more seconds on that, like so. And here we go, the terrain is loaded in, and if I press 6, give you a top view of the terrain. And I did create this in the World Painter, so this is my own design. So we press 6 again, then it reverts it back to normal. And now I'm going to spawn in player 1. So spawn in a Dodge Challenger. And now it's going to show off the different camera angles. So if you press 5, get a front view, press 1 to bring it down some. And then you press 4 for back view, press 1 to bring it down. And then you can press 3 for a side view, and then 2 for opposite side view. And then 1, if you press 1, you get like a first person, third person view of the car, like so. And now it's gonna have the other instance open as well. So everything I did on the other instance did apply. So press 1, and here you can see there's top view of that as well. And now I would like to just talk about things that I added. So I added like a start race button. If you press this button, it plays so on that beep, players will start racing. And then I added laps, so lap counter. So when you pass this yellow line, you will press the right shift key to increment your lap, decrease your lap. So, and then I also added like a acceleration function. So your default speed is 8, and if you press the control key for player 1, then it will increase your speed from 3 to 5. So the lowest you can have is 11, and then the max you can have is 13. So that gives you and there is a cooldown on that as well, so it only lasts about 5 seconds. And for player 1 movement, I just had the left, right, up, down key presses. So now I'm just gonna show off everything right now, like so. And there is an audio as well that for the sound of the engine audio. If I press shift key, you can see it boosts my speed to 13, and it only lasts for 5 seconds, and then it reverts back to 8. And then when I pass this right here, it when I pass the yellow line, I just increase my lap myself, like so. And now I'm going to switch the terrain and then show player 2. And yeah, this has a loading screen as well, but the loading screen doesn't do too well with the split screen. So if you do have this on another computer, the loading screen will appear on your computer. I just want to throw that out there. And it also changes the skybox as well. We just go to a different track. So here we go. Let me give a top view of this as well, like so. Also create this in World Painter. It's just like a pyramid, like just a sand field. So yep, press 6 to bring it back down. And now I'm going to spawn in player 2 on this instance. And also do want to show off the other player model, the other player skins as well. So here I spawn in player 2. Oops, I used the wrong key press. So spawn in player 2. Let me show the other models as well. Then we have the sports car, and then we have the Cybertruck as well. So I'm just gonna switch it to the Ford for right now. And then for player 2, when I select player 2 car, when I spawn it in, it does switch the camera to that item. So, and I use the AWSD key presses for player 2, like so. As you can see, it doesn't move the camera on. It doesn't move the camera for the player 1 instance like it's supposed to. So that's how you get like 2-player mode. And then you increment the lat with the left key press for player 2. And then the boost pad for player 2 is the tab key, so it increases its speed as well. Then I'm just going to leave the player right here for right now. Then I want to show how player 1, it is synced, so if I move player 1, it will catch up to player 2. So let me just get around the track real fast. As you can see, player 1 does pass player 2, so it is synced, like so. Like so. So now I would like to show off the time trial mode. This is also synced as well. So when I press the start timer, let me set it for, you can also adjust it as well. So when I press the start timer, you have until this amount of time, and you have until the count reaches the time that I set, and it will reset the object to spawn. So the goal is just get around as many laps as possible before it reaches the time. So I'm gonna just set it to 15, and just to give like a short demonstration how that works. So if I press start, the time counts up, and then I just get around the track as fast as possible. But I just want to show it reset. So it's gonna reach 15, and once it reaches it, resets me to the beginning, like so. So that works. And I can also pause it if I don't want to play it no more. And now I just want to show off just the different soundtracks that I have in the game. Oh well, I do want to mention there is crash audio. So if I do like interact with the terrain, it does make like crash sound, like so, as you can see. So just want to throw that out there. And it makes the sound based on how hard it like interacts with the terrain. And then now I would just like to show off the different audio. So press soundtrack 1, play sounds. It can also adjust the volume of that. Also just the volume of the car engine speed if it's just too loud. And I could just mute the sounds completely, like so. And then also just created the option if you just want to disable net messaging mid-game, if a player disconnects. So when you do that, as you can see, the Dodge Challenger isn't moving on that instance, only moving on the instance that I disabled. So that works. You can always enable it again. Just spawn the car back, and as you can see, it's moving again. So that works. And yeah, so now I'm just gonna talk about why I believe it was interesting. So I believe what I did was interesting because players can play together from 2 different computers instances. There's tons of customization of different cars, different racetracks. There's game modes just to help keep the experience more refreshing and engaging, and just to bring friends together to play. So yep, now I was going to go through the code. It's just some things that I did. It's kind of a lot, so I'm just going to just skim through, go pretty quickly. So right start with this. So this is how I did like the movement. I was having some trouble with the rotation, so I just took like a different approach. So pretty much what I did is I have 4 different car models, and I just have them faced in different directions. So based on the key press, one car would be visible, and then the other 3 would be invisible. So when I press the key press, the car that's visible will move in the direction that it's facing, and when the other 3 cars will move with it, but they will be invisible. So when I click another key press, the car that was visible will be invisible, and then another car will be visible, and the other 3 will be visible, and then the car that's visible direction will move in the direction that it's facing. And I did that for player 1 and player 2, like so. And then another thing I want to talk about, kind of one of my favorite things that I did. So I was having issues figuring out how to do the start menu. So what I did was I just created like a giant GUI window, and just put like the title of the game, and just added buttons to it, for the volume of the start screen, and then the net meshing for enable and disable, like so right here. And then I did like a SDL scan code key press, so that's how when I press spacebar it continues to the loading screen. Then that's how I did the time trial stuff. And then the terrain, for the terrain I used like the function from the class slides, but I had to like change the direction, so I had to like rotate it, move it down the negative X and the positive Y, stuff like that. Then I had that sync over a network. And then this is how I did like the switch between players. So I have it so when you spawn in a player, it hides the previous car that was spawned in, and then it spawns in a new car object. Yep. And then I did the same thing for player 2. And then this is how I did the switch between tracks, pretty similar to what I did in the audio assignment. And then, yep, this is the grid, pretty similar to the class slides. Then I did the rotations, just get it in the perfect spot, just make things easier for like the car movement. And then this is like the car models. So as you see, I have 4 car models, technically 4 different car objects. So with these objects, that's when they all start off as invisible, and then I have a W object that doesn't move, that's visible. So when I press the key press to move forward, just the regular W object is invisible, and then the key press I press, one of these will be visible, and that's when the other 3 objects will move with it. And I did that exact same thing for each of the car models, pretty much. This is how I did like the camera movement, just for changing the position of the camera. This is what I used to hide the car objects when spawning, and this is just the code for like the loading screen. So yeah, so I mean the coding feature that I was most proud of was probably just the loading screen, the start menu. I'm just really happy that I figured that out. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my project. I did work with Jake on this, so he's going to demonstrate the single player portion, just to go a little more in detail and show how everything works without the net meshing enabled. So I was going to leave that up to him. But I appreciate everything. Thank you for watching.